Now, if your favourite actor appears on screen looking a little fresh-faced when the Hollywood strike ends, it might not just be from a bit of R&R. Some of Hollywood's elites are apparently making the most of the unexpected free time they've got now to go under the knife. And that's potentially instead of standing on the picket line in solidarity with their striking colleagues. The Screen Actors Guild called for industrial action on July 13th. And some plastic surgeons in New York and LA have seen as much as a 30% increase in demand, they're saying, with facelifts, eye lifts and brow lifts all at the top of the list. Well, for more on this supposed upsurge in stars, big-time producers and directors going under the knife, I'm joined by the celebrity blogger Perez Hilton and the Hollywood surgeon Ben Talei. Thank you, guys, for joining me on this story. And Dr. Talei, I'll come to you first, because when I first heard about this today, I thought it seemed somewhat tangential that strikes would lead to cosmetic surgery. But then when I read your account, it seems almost directly correlated.
Yes, interestingly, it's not something you think about day to day, and certainly not a strike leading to surgery. But this is something that the pattern has kind of been building since the pandemic occurred and shutdown occurred. And when the shutdown occurred, you saw just an outpour of executive directors, producers, writers, actors, and it went to sports figures, singers, and that kind of stuff too, coming in to get surgery because they never had time to otherwise. And also what happened at the same time was that whole Zoom boom where people saw their tech necks. They're always down on their phone, and they started to notice the necks. So since that time, people have been waiting for one more pandemic or one more shutdown to happen, and it wasn't happening. And about 4 months ago, when the writers started talking about maybe doing a strike, the actors didn't know if they're going to be a part of it. Then it turned out that they looked historically and saw they do better together. And the second they saw that they might strike altogether is when we started to get calls from actor friends and friends of their friends and friends calling in, say, hey, do you mind seeing this person for me? There might be a strike. This is the only time they have for a neck lift. Can you please get them in? So we've seen a lot over here in LA. My friends in the other states hasn't changed too much, but over here in Beverly Hills, it's a pretty interesting phenomenon.
You're making me wonder if I've got tech neck now. Something I wasn't even worried, thought I should be worried about. Perez, listening to that, obviously not taking away from those striking on the picket line, but are you surprised to hear that some people aren't and choosing cosmetic surgery instead?
What I'm surprised about is that we are still striking. Thankfully, the Producers Guild is sitting down at the table this Friday with the writers, and I hope the same happens with the actors. I am a member of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, and while some members might be getting cosmetic procedure, the overwhelming majority are actually struggling to meet the requirement to get health insurance as a SAG member. So this isn't about luxuries. This is about livelihood and surviving. In fact, so many big name actors that were on huge shows for Netflix spoke out recently, not even about the residuals problem, but about how little they were paid while making their shows. And of course, there's the big issue of AI and the future of technology when it comes to actors. So I just want to stress the seriousness and importance of this.
Yeah, I was actually shocked looking at some of the figures today of actors that have come out and said they received almost just cents on the dollar for residuals. This means that when their show that they filmed years ago now gets franchised out onto Netflix or whatever, the royalties they're getting off it are absolutely minimal, shockingly low amounts. And I think people are tempted to think actors are just spoiled and everyone lives in luxury in LA, but it's not the case, is it, Perez?
No, and the requirement to get health insurance in SAG is $26,000 a year. Yeah. So there's a lot of working actors whose names you don't know who are going without health insurance. So that to me is a big issue that hopefully is addressed. And of course, the residuals issue as well. And just, respecting the talent. We've seen recently that actors promoting movies can result in hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office. Look at Barbie. On the flip side, you saw the recent release of the film The Flash, and those stars, because the lead Ezra Miller was mired in controversy, none of those actors, for the most part, promoted the Flash film, and that was a major disappointment at the box office. The studios need actors and need to respect them.